What's up, fellow Guardians? Today is September 17th, 2021, and Zur, as you can see, is in the hangar over here in the right section in the tower. Alright, for exotics, as you can see, he's got his exotic Engram, which he brings every single week for 97 shards. Got the Merciless exotic fusion rifle. For the hunters, he's got the shards of Galanor with a 62 overall stat roll. He's got the one-eyed mask Titan exotic with a 67 overall stat roll. And for the warlocks, he's got the Geomag Stabilizers with a 67 overall stat. Don't forget, every single week you can do his exotic cipher quests for another chance at either an exotic roll from him or to get a previous season exotic that you may not already have. Let's start off with his legendary armor. Today he's brought for Titans, a 59 stat roll gauntlets, Season of the Hunt gear. Not the best roll you can get. The chest piece, he's got recovery and intellect 23-21. Overall stat roll 60. I am grabbing this. Obviously he's got the class item, Wild Hunt helmet. It's got 60 run overall stat roll. Not great. And for the boots, he's got a 26-16. It's actually pretty spicy. I'm gonna grab this as well. For legendary weapons, he's got the Dire Promise with the rangefinder and snapshot and high caliber rounds. Got a stability masterwork, steady hand HCS, and fast draw HCS. Not a bad roll. If you're looking for a decent hand cannon for PvP, it's got that increased zoom for more aim assists and reticle stickiness if you're a controller player. So I say pick this up if you don't already have a decent roll of the Dire Promise. Got the Escape Velocity, which is another dead orbit weapon. Got a Grave Robber and Quick Draw. Flared Magwell, Alloy Magazine with a ranged masterwork, and your choice of scopes. Not the best roll you can get on this, so I would say pass. It's got the Ikelos SMG. Got Vorpal, Grave Robber, Seraph Rounds, Small Bore, Extended Mag. Vorpal's great on this, but I wouldn't necessarily want Grave Robber, so I would say pass on this one. Got the main ingredient. Got Tap the Trigger and Under Pressure. And with your choice of Particle Repeater for stability and Projection Fuse for range. And then your choice of scope here. It's got even a stability masterwork. This being a precision frame makes it pretty decent for PvP, so I'm going to grab this one because I don't have a decent main ingredient. It's also brought the Truth Teller. It's got blinding grenades and concussion. I would prefer spike grenades in one of these slots. This way you can choose between blinding and spike grenades. Would have made this a really good roll. You got Feeding Frenzy and Swashbuckler. Even handling masterwork. I would definitely say pick this one up for PvE. Pretty sure you can make this work for PvP though. Got a Steel Sybil. Got Relentless Strike, Whirlwind Blade, Jagged Edge, and Swordmaster's Guard. Actually a god roll, or S tier roll, whichever you want to call those. So if you don't have a decent Void Sword or a decent Falling Guillotine, grab this one. It's actually a really good roll. And finally we have the bottom dollar. It's got Dragonfly, Outlaw, Alloy Mag, Flared Magwell, Hammer Forge, and Small Bore with a stability masterwork. It's not bad at all. I'm gonna pass on this one, but if you don't have a decent bottom dollar, pick it up. Now to the exotics. Starting off with the exotic Engram, as you already know. And if you don't already know, you can grab one of these every single week to get exotics you don't already have for a specific character. Once you've gotten all the exotics, including weapons, you'll get a random exotically rolled armor piece. Today, it's giving me the Hollow Fire Heart. Total overall, 68. I'm pretty sure I got a better one in my vault. One more and that would have been really nice. I'm gonna pass on this one and delete it. Maybe you'll get something better from your exotic Engram. Starting off with the exotic weapon, we've got the Merciless Fusion rifle. Its exotic perk is called Conserve Momentum, and it states that non-lethal hits with projectiles make this weapon charge faster until its wielder gets a kill. Secondary exotic perk is called Impetus. Reloading immediately after a kill increases the weapon damage for a short time. I'm pretty sure it's on par with Kill Clip. It does have an exotic catalyst, which I'll show you in a moment. It's also got some decent ornaments that you can swap it to. For the first one, you want to know what this exotic catalyst does. It increases its range by a lot. Also its stability. Starting off with the Charge of Galanor for the hunters, its exotic perk states that hits and kills with Blade Barrage return super energy after the super ends. Pretty short super, so you'll pretty much get it immediately after you pop your super. They increased it so that you get more super back per hit, but they capped it out at 50%. If you have like a void helmet with what's it called, Dynamo on, which reduces your super cooldown when using your class ability, and you run like max mobility on a hunter, it's pretty easy to get your super back. Overall stat roll being 62 makes it pretty decent, but it's really not heavily laid into anything. I would say pick this one up if you don't have a better one. I might pick this one up because it looks like it's better than the one I already have. I believe it's got some ornaments. I only got one though. Cleans it up a little bit. But yeah, grab it if you don't already have it. Moving over to the Titan exotic, One-Eyed Mask. Exotic perk highlights the target who dares to damage you. Track down and destroy them for an overshield. It used to also increase your damage, but they nerfed that fact. It's still a pretty good exotic for PvP. Grab it if you don't already have a decent roll. This roll is not necessarily the best one you can get with high strength and pretty high mobility. Everything else is just kind of meh. If you masterwork it, you can get +1 in recovery, discipline, and intellect, but I say go for it. You could farm for a better roll out of either your legendary lost sectors or just try and get one from Xur. Last but certainly not least, we have the Geomag Stabilizers. States that damaging targets with Chaos Reach extends its duration. It used to be really strong. It is still pretty decent for PvE. The nerf that they gave it this season, basically you can't run to recharge your super when you're at like 75%, so it got pretty well nerfed. Unfortunately, it affects PvE as well, but still a top tier PvE exotic. I don't know why you would use this in PvP. Chaos Reach is still pretty good for shutting down enemies, but since it doesn't extend its duration, because most enemies aren't going to necessarily last long enough for the duration extension to be matter, so you can still run Chaos Reach, but Geomags is just not necessarily the go-to exotic for Chaos Reach in PvP. 67 overall stat roll, decent mobility, resilience, discipline, and intellect. If you don't already have a decent one, grab this one. Other than that, meh. But yeah, it's still a pretty good exotic, just not as strong as it used to be. For those of you still looking for mods, the Gunsmith has Icarus Grip, which is good for PvP, Rampage Spec, which is decent for PvE, low tier activities. It extends the duration of Rampage by at least 1 second, I believe, which, you know, it's nice. And over here at 801, she's got Fusion Rifle Dexterity, something that you want to have for PvP, not necessarily something you care for in PvE, unless, you know, outside of this season where we have particle deconstruction. Maybe if you're trying to melt the Templar, being able to swap back and forth between Cartesian coordinate and sleeper would be nice. So pick this up if you don't already have this mod, but you can get it easily from like turning in materials at the Gunsmith. And then she's also got Incinerating Light, become charged with light by rapidly defeating multiple enemies with explosion of a Warmind cell. As you already know, or should already know, Warmind cells got nerfed this season, but I still consider them to be decent for like solo lost sectors. So one of those grab it if you don't already have it situations. Though unfortunately I don't necessarily promote mix and maxing combat style mods because, you know, it's just a little rough trying to pull that off. That's it for today's video. For those of you who made it to the end, I'd like to thank you and appreciate you for the viewership. If there's anything else that you want me to cover in Destiny 2, let me know in the comment section below, as well as let me know what you're going to be picking up from the tower in terms of Xur's inventory. Maybe you have some of those mods that you're looking for. Like the video if you did. Subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. And once again, my name is Acel Games. Have a great weekend.